On a cold but sunny day near the town, a man was driving a truck to the top of the hill. The road was passing through farms with little cottages and animal houses. It was a curly road with many bumps. He was driving carefully, but when he was turning on the road, his left tyre hit a small ditch and the truck began to shake a little. Right at that moment, a box dropped out from the back of his truck. The little box rolled down and finally fell into the water beside the road. For a couple of minutes, the box could not move, but after a while, the box opened his eyes and felt dizzy. He tried hard to sit down, but he had trouble remembering what happened. He felt wet on his back. There was some writing and a photo on the box. The text and photo got wet and partially vanished, but the rest of our little box was healthy and not damaged. At the same time, a crow came down and said to the box, "Oh wow, that was quick. What happened? I witnessed you fell down from the car. Who are you?" Our little box answered, "I don't know. I feel wet and dizzy. Where am I?" The crow answered, "You're on a farm. Do you know where you were headed? Do you have an address?" The little box answered, "Oh no, my back is quite wet and I have no idea where I am supposed to go. Such bad luck. All I can remember was I have some stuff inside myself and was loaded into that mini truck. The man drove for hours and hours, and then something happened on the road, so I fell down." The crow said, "It is okay. We can go to the farm if you feel well enough. There is a clever dog there, and it can help you. If the owner finds your address, they might be able to find your final home and take you there." The lost box felt better and found hope from the bird's suggestion, so they started to walk and got close to a beautiful house. When they arrived, Mr. Hapu, the clever dog, was playing with chickens and chicks, while Madam Chicken and her chicks were walking around the yard in search of worms. When they arrived, the little box explained what happened to him. Mr. Hapu tried to see what was written on the box, but it was impossible to understand it, and the photo had already disappeared. He suggested to wait until the owner of the house came back, and they could ask Pishy to help the box. Pishy was the cat of Parry, the daughter of the owner. Pishy could take the box to Parry's room and hopefully make it noticeable that there was a lost box and her parents needed to help. It was cold and the box was wet and sad. Madam Chicken asked everyone to get to her little house. While everyone gathered together inside, they started to ask more questions from the box to get an understanding of who this box was. Madam Chicken asked, "Do you remember what happened before you got in the car?" The lost box answered, "I was with other boxes. There were around 100 of us. We went to a house, and when we were standing in the queue, I felt someone put a plastic bag with something soft inside me. Then they put another heavy, round-shaped bag inside myself. Oh, the last part was adding a sticker and written text on the back of the box. That is all I remember." Mr. Hapu, the dog, said, "If you were going up the hill, there is a school, a clinic, and some shops and houses. You must be a gift for someone there. And the painting on your side, what is it? A man dancing with a red costume? It looks so familiar to me. Maybe it is Santa, but Christmas was 2 months ago." Mr. Rooster asked the box to stand up and shake. Maybe they could understand what was inside the box from the noise. The box started to shake himself, but no special noise was coming out. The box added, "No, also I can feel like I am not carrying anything like liquid or seeds." Animals of the farm were silent, and confused. But they tried to cherish the little box and tell him how much the owner of the house is kind and likes to help others. They told him that the owner takes especially good care of the farm's animals. While the box was chatting with his new friends in the chicken house, Hapu heard a car getting close to the house. It was the owner's car. He ran to them. As soon as the back door opened, Pishy the cat jumped out of the car and stretched herself. She was grumpy because she had just been visiting the vet and getting vaccinated. And she was hungry. Hapu started barking and got close to Pishy. He told Pishy that her help was needed very quickly. Pishy and Hapu went to the chicken's house and made a plan that the lost box should get inside the owner's house as soon as possible. Our lost box said goodbye to her new chicken friends and walked with the cat towards the house. Went close to the window of Parry's room, and then the cat started meowing. Meow, meow, meow. After a couple of minutes, little Parry came to the room and searched for the cat to take her to the kitchen. Suddenly, she saw the box from behind the window. Parry asked, "Oh, Pishy, where did you get this box from? Is it for me? Was the mailman here today?" As soon as Parry picked up the box, she could see it was wet and nothing was written on it, except for the sticker of the dancing man in the red costume. Parry could not find the answer to her questions, so she left the box in her room to ask her mother about it the very next morning. The next day, after breakfast, Parry took the box to her mum and told her what had happened last night. They went to the greenhouse and Parry's mum checked the box and could see an unclear photo of a flower. Though the photo was not clear, she figured it must be a hyacinth. Then she looked at the dancing man sticker and said, "Oh, look, Haji Feroz." Parry asked her mum, "Who's that?" Her mother answered that is the flower of spring in the Persian Nowruz celebration, and the box must have been from one of the gardens which produce these plants. However, her mother said, "I do not know who the receiver is, but let's go to the greenhouse and open the box." The lost box was so happy that at least he knew more about his mission on this journey. The box listened carefully to learn about all the new things Parry's mum was explaining. Parry's mum left the box on the counter and lifted her daughter Parry onto the stool. Pishy the cat jumped onto her lap. When her mother opened the box, there was a piece of paper with a message saying, "Happy Nowruz." There was a plastic bag which had the brown colour of soft soil. There was another bag that was made of black plastic and round. Her mother opened the heavier black plastic and found a plant bulb. Now she was quite sure that this was the bulb of a hyacinth. Parry asked her mum if they could eat the bulb. She thought it was an onion. Her mum responded, "No, they're not edible. We have different ways to breed plants. Some of them with seeds and some of them by cutting the stem and putting it in water to grow roots. But for hyacinths, you need to buy a special bulb from a nursery or gardeners and plant them." Her mum put the soil and bulb down and suggested planting them in the afternoon. She added, "We're going to have a big Nowruz celebration in 6 weeks, and I'm going to teach you more about the Persian New Year, my little love. Now let's go and feed the chicks." She asked Parry to drop the box into the recycling bin. Parry put the box in the recycling bin beside other papers and cardboard. The lost happy box finally figured it out what his journey was all about. He appreciated Pishy and all the farm animals that had helped him. Pishy came and smelled the little box and said, "Goodbye."